A world without console generations. Sounds impossible. Well, it is if you look at Nintendo and Sony at least, but Microsoft seems to think they have something. At Gamescom 2016, Microsoft's employees, head marketing Aaron Greenberg, stated that Microsoft thinks the future without console generations is a thing. It's what they want. Highlighting the fact that iterative hardware allows the Xbox platform to continue to build upon its established community and growing library of games. Now with that out of the way, that's pretty much the news story, and I'm going to explain why I think Microsoft desires to make one giant unified ecosystem, destroy Steam, and make themselves the monopoly for not only PC gaming, but also for the console generations to be coming up. So obviously Microsoft doesn't want to make new consoles, they just want to make iterations of the current hardware that they have. Now that's not exactly a bad or stupid thing, because we haven't had a giant PC spike in a long time. And what I mean by that, to people who aren't very knowing or they didn't grow up in the 90s to the 2000s, is that we went from 16-bit to 32-bit to 64-bit, and you might say, oh yeah, okay Proto, so you're talking about like the Super Nintendo, the Sega 32X, and the Nintendo 64, right? Well, no, I'm not. I'm talking about the actual computer's bit rates, the bits that they were able to process, the operating systems, all of that good stuff, you know? When you install an operating system nowadays, you still might have the option to install a 32-bit versus a 64-bit operating system. You see these numbers a lot with computers. You'll have a filing system called x86 or x64 in nowadays computers, but it wasn't too long ago that 32 was the main standard for things like Windows 98, Windows XP, and when 64-bit came along, it opened the door for things. See, 32 was very limiting, and now we have 64, so there hasn't been another big, like, oh, we went from, 256 to 400 to 1000 to 2000, you know what I mean? There's no big breakthrough in that. While technology is progressing quite a bit, instead of progressing in the speeds per se, it's progressing in the reducing the sizes of dies for PC processors, increasing power efficiency, which allows for the processor to do a lot more with a lot less energy, with a lot less heat output, meaning they can make way better graphics and perform CPU functions a lot better than they could ever before. Memory has come down in price. You can get an SSD for $30 at Best Buy. A good one, 120 gigabyte Patriot SSD. I mean, technology's there, man. We're living it. We're living in the future. And I think Microsoft wants to take this ecosystem, take what PC has, and translate it to their console box iterations. And, we're going to have Project Scorpio come up. Well, in 5 years, they're going to have Project, Neo, and then Project Red Flare, and Project Green Flare after that. And they're just going to be the same basic box design with a fan, maybe a little bit smaller, maybe slight variations, but it's just going to be the same exact thing. And they're just going to put in a new chip, maybe even a graphics card somewhere down the road, and a fan. Microsoft has displayed this not only in pushing out some Steam issues, like there's conspiracy theories going around, which might not be incorrect, that Microsoft is making it harder for Steam users to run their games efficiently in Windows 10 with their patches and updates. And of course, Windows 10 patches and updates are screwing up things also. So when you download the patch and update, you have to go reconfigure a lot of your settings, but it also screws up with some people's Steam accounts and files. That's been reported. They were trying to use the Microsoft Store as kind of an exclusive front, kind of like what you do on consoles, where, okay, well, we're going to have No Man's Sky on PlayStation 4 only and PC. Sorry about the other consoles. So they were doing that with, games like Quantum Break, where it's like, okay, we're gonna have this on the Xbox and the PC, and if you buy it on PC, you can play it on the Xbox, and you get it free on the Xbox. Deals like that were going on, and that's great, and it makes people want to migrate towards this ecosystem. They even updated the Xbox One itself to be more Windows 10-ish, including Cortana, whether you wanted it or not. You still have to accept it if you want to use it, but if you don't want it and you don't want to use it, just don't accept. But point being, they're integrating it and making it more computer-like, more PC-like than ever before. And I think what they want to do is they want to take this PC architecture, use it for this console's iteration for however long x86 and x64 are going to be around, and just use that with various upgrades. And they've even come out and said that you can use the Xbox One controller with PCs that have wireless functionality to the point where it can connect to the controller, no longer needing a wireless dongle. I mean, they might as well spell it out. We want a PC, Xbox One, tablet, unified ecosystem. We want our operating system on everything. Whereas Apple has Apple's OS, Macintosh OS on their PCs and iOS on their phones, Microsoft wants it on everything they have. They want a unified ecosystem. So we have ourselves Project Scorpio being the end of the console generations for them. You only buy Project Scorpio and you do possible upgrades, or you buy a similar to same box with just better specs in 5 to 10 years. That's how PCs work. You rip out the CPU, and if you can put a better one in, you put a better one in. If you want a new motherboard because the CPU is not compatible, you just buy a new motherboard and put it in the case if you want to. Or you buy a whole new computer if it's too much trouble. And that's how I feel that this is going to work. I feel like Project Scorpio is going to be a modular design where you can crack it open and you can replace your own components, of course avoiding your warranty, but hey, if you want to do it, go ahead. And that's how it's going to work. Or they're just going to have the box to replace it with, a more powerful system. So do you feel I'm correct in my predictions? Do you think I'm spot on the money? Have I gotten anything wrong? Please correct me in the comments section. I don't want to be spewing misinformation. But as for Microsoft, I hope the end of console wars isn't coming. As much as I hate console wars, I really do, and I think fanboys are stupid, I do feel that consoles do have their place, and I feel that when consoles end, the end of a lot of unique and interesting experiences also end with that. I mean, we wouldn't have had the Kinect, we wouldn't have had Nintendo Wii's motion controls, we wouldn't have had a lot of interesting, unique console-only experiences if we didn't have consoles. And you can argue they might have come over on PC, but I don't see a lot of people using the Kinect on PC to play their games, just saying. And that technology had been around for a long time, so yeah, man. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, you have yourselves a good day, and I am going to be talking about another interesting news story. If you're interested, make sure to stay around. Check out my channel every couple hours as I'll release the videos staggered, and that's about it for me. As always, good gaming, and God bless. Thanks for watching.